Alright, so what is debate? Debate is basically a fancy version of yaha na'a that you argue with your siblings every day. So the affirmative gets up and introduces a plan, and the negative gets up and argues about why it's a bad idea. The affirmative has 5 stock issues that they need to solve for generally all of them. Those are inherency, which means that it hasn't happened yet. Solvency, which means that the plan can solve for inherency and or what they claim it solves for. Harms, which are what is happening in the status quo that we are trying to fix. Topicality, which means that the affirmative team falls under the resolution. And significance, which is basically the extent to which the harms go. The negative, other than arguing case arguments against inherency, solvency, harms, topicality, or significance, have disadvantages, which are bad things that'll happen if you pass the plan. They have counterplans, which are basically flipping the script and saying, we're the affirmative, we're going to propose that we do this instead of your proposed plan. And there are critiques, which are theory arguments that you're a novice, so you're not going to need to worry about. And the speeches go, the 1AC, which is 8 minutes. There are four constructive speeches, each 8 minutes long, that are cross-examined, that the cross-examination lasts 3 minutes. And then following the second negative constructive, there is 4 rebuttals. The first negative rebuttal, which is 5 minutes. These are all 5 minutes. The first affirmative rebuttal follows that. Second negative rebuttal follows that, and then the round is closed up with the second affirmative rebuttal. Each team gets 5 minutes of prep time that they can use at any time during the round. The affirmative team shouldn't really use very much following the 1NC. The 2AC should generally have arguments set out that they have to read and have answers set up so they don't have to look too much. The 1NC should generally have also its own block type of thing that it has, whether it's disadvantages along with a counterplan or critiques or whatever you have set up that you read against everything. You might use a little prep time to find some on-case arguments, but you may not. The 2NC might use prep time, but most of the prep time really should be used in the rebuttals. The rebuttals are arguably the most important part of the round. It's where you convince the judge whether or not you're right, basically, because the constructives set up the arguments and then the rebuttals are summarizing why the other team's arguments are crap and why yours wins. And as I said, debate is basically a fancy way of saying yaha na'a. So have fun.